Virgil, after all the empty stadiums, all you've been through personally, what is this moment like for you now?
It's amazing, if I'm honest. It was a tough game for many reasons. But in the end, 3-0, winning here tonight sounds comfortable. But I think at times we were, especially the last bit, we make it very difficult for ourselves and keep a little bit under pressure. And maybe that's fatigue, maybe it's something where we have to do better. But we're going to look at it. But can't be negative about tonight. We won 3-0. I'm certainly happy that I'm back out there again with the boys, helping the team, and hopefully that can continue, and we'll see what it brings.
You don't look too tired. Did you feel as good as new?
Obviously, I need games, and but the manager knows it. I know it. So it was a good start today, and time to recover and make sure that I'm hopefully ready for next week. And it's going to be a very tough one again against Burnley.
So what are the hardest things to pick up again after such a long break? 300 days without football?
Repetitions, I think the first day of training with the group, you need to get back into normal habits. Diagonal protection, coaching. Obviously you've not been shouting to the rest of the team for such a long time.
Were they glad to have you back, shouting at them?
Well, hopefully. But no, it's just the repetitions of normal habits, I think. And the only thing to get into that is just to play the game. And I made great steps during pre-season, and this is another big step. So hopefully we can keep that going.
In all that time out, what was the toughest moment for you?
Well, especially the beginning. Mentally, it's tough. You are going from one day of being fully fit to the next day that you can't walk. You're full of medication, full of pain. You can't sleep. Everyone has their opinion, and you read those things because you have nothing to do. And obviously as well that we were struggling last season with more injuries on key positions where we couldn't play our game. Really, the way we want to play, high pressure, full of energy, and I think, when we had midfielders playing as centre back, it's not easy at all. And in the end, the guys did a fantastic job to become third, and this season hopefully we can build on that and stay fit. Hopefully, all of us don't take that for granted either.
What do you expect this season? Like you said, last season, for reasons really beyond anyone's control, it was difficult. Do you think it will be back to title challenging this time round?
Well, I don't know. The only thing we can focus on is the next game for us. That's what we will do. I think it's exciting to see the Premier League like this. I think it's the quality that the Premier League has at this point, with all the players that be coming back. It's exciting, and I enjoy that. If I'm thinking about our own team, if we stay fit, we have a good chance to be on, be up there. So we'll see what the season brings. We all have to enjoy it, and I certainly will. Being out so long, but to play against world-class strikers again, world-class teams, who when you can't predict who's going to be the winner of the season, it's amazing to be in.
Last one then. What was it like to get that new contract signed? What did that mean to you?
Proud. Yeah, I said it before. It's something I'm very proud of. My family is very proud of. My wife and kids, they worked so hard for it as well. They've been behind me from day one too, and massive credit to them. And it's something to build on. So it's something that we just continue, keep improving, especially after the year I've been out. There's a lot to improve, and I'll take my time, and hopefully that'll be fine.
Good to have you back.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
A really open and a very honest interview there from Virgil van Dijk, and it sort of reminds us that the road to recovery, 10 months he's been out. It's not easy, and it comes with many challenges.
Tell me about it.
I know you know that.
I've probably had those. I've probably had about 4 of those long-term injuries. Mental torture. It's just anyone can get through the gym work. You've got to do this amount, and the physio's there barking orders at you and screaming, "Come on, one more rep, one more." When you're knackered. That's fine, because you're doing that when you're on the pitch. You're tuned to go through pain, to push the boundaries, but you're not tuned for the mental stress and anguish and upset and roller coaster of emotions. You've literally got to totally change your mindset from the treadmill of playing and recovering and playing, recovering, to you feel worthless for so long, and you can't allow yourself to feel like that player anymore. You almost don't feel like a footballer anymore, because if you did, you'd drive yourself mad. So you've almost got to just totally shut off from the world. And that's so difficult to do. And then as soon as he said he got frustrated at the start, I used to get frustrated for the first month and the last month, because I could feel it, I could touch it, I'm close to coming, but you felt like you were being held back. It's going to take a while yet to come back to his top form, but the relief when you're back with your mates playing football again is unbelievable.
But what were the emotions like for you when you did come back from an injury and made your very first start? Was it mixed emotions? Was there fear as well as that sort of excitement to be back?
Yeah, and you forget. You don't forget everything, but he already said there, you've got to get it back into the routine of what you say, where you go, you lose that. Sometimes, when you come on as a substitute, it takes you a couple of minutes to feel your position and sort of almost get your bearings and get your balance on a pitch and just sort of understand where you are. And especially if you've been out a long time, you think you're in the wrong position all the time, and you question yourself, and it's just a matter of routine getting back into those natural positions, especially as a centre-half, because there are rules as centre-halves. As a centre-forward, you can just, no one's saying you stand here and you stand there. You go where you want in many ways. Whereas a centre-half is the ball's there and your teammate's there. You've got to be in a certain position. So it takes time for that to come back. But there's so many different things going through your mind. You're scared of your body. You're scared of something going again and thinking, or compensating and pulling a muscle. How many times do you see someone coming in and pulling a muscle after being out for a while? So you've got such a mixture of emotions. And when you finish the game, the relief, thinking, right, ticked it off, on to the next one. And then, and it's only after about 3 or 4 games, I think, that you start feeling really part of it and really tuned in again.
And I guess this is why it was important for him to start and play the full game today, because they have Burnley next, but then it's Chelsea, and they'll need him for the game against Chelsea.
Yeah, Lukaku will be up and running by then, you would have thought. But no, I mean, I love him. It's not only about his performance. He makes other people around him better. As soon as he's lined up in that tunnel with you, if you're his teammate, you've got the boss there. He's on the pitch. He's the governor. He's the man. He's back. He's with us. He sticks his chest out. He's got that arrogance about him in a nice way. He's a lovely man. And he leads and he talks and he moves people around. Yes, you lose a bit of that and instinct of doing that when you've been out for a long period, but he soon come back into it today. He strolled through that game today. He's a Rolls Royce. When you have a Rolls Royce in the garage, when you bring it out, you don't put your foot down straight away, do you? I mean, he's the lowest average speed of any player on that pitch there today was Virgil. He totally cruised that football match. But he could. He was doing other stuff. He was there. His presence was there, and he was making players around him. He was organising. But, that he's probably the quickest player on the pitch, bar none. If you put him on a line when he's up to speed, but he just cruised. He let his brain do it, Michael, there today.
Yeah, and when I look at centre-half, I just look at his attributes and I just think, what hasn't he got? I mean, I can't think of one thing. I mean, we're watching. I know he's been out a year and it's, probably stupid to say it now, but, I mean, we've watched, let's say, over the last few years, one of the greatest centre-halves there's ever lived. I mean, what can't he do? He's as quick as anything. He's a leader. He talks to everyone. He reads the game well. He's brave as he scores goals. He's a brilliant passer, long and short. What can't this fella do? And it's been such a miss to not have him in the Premier League for a year. And I just hope, and there's encouraging signs, of course, pre-season and today, that he can come back, he can reach the levels he was at. Because if he can, then we are looking at one of the great centre-halves to ever grace this game. He's an absolute Rolls Royce. That is the perfect description of him, Tim.